Alright, I hope you're watching this video to get some help with your study guide. This first problem you're going to see on your benchmark, it looks similar to this. It wants to know how many have one solution. The one solution idea is not 0x equals 0 would be infinite solutions, and 0x equals any other number would be no solution, right? This is infinite, this is no. X equals something like 0 would be one solution, and that's kind of what we're looking for. So when I look at my answers, I see B, and B does not look correct. So it can't be B, because if you look at it again, it's 0x equals negative 5. There's no way 0x can equal negative 5, so B is not correct. Look at D. Is there even an equal sign in D? So there's no way it could even be an answer. It's an expression, it's not an equation. When you look at C, x equals x, and this is an interesting problem. Basically, it means 1x equals 1x. Well, didn't I teach you to move your letters to the left? When you do that, you get 0x equals nothing, or 0. 0x equals 0, that's infinite. Now look at A. What times 1/5? What times 1/5 equals 0? Well, 0 times anything is going to equal 0, so equals 0, that is your one solution. If x equals 2 or 7 or 12 or anything, one solution. Answer is A, okay? Number 2, review. We've done this. I'm going to move the work over here. 2x plus 5y equals negative 18. And then 3x minus 5y equals 23. If you look up here, you can see right away that they're on top of each other. They're good to go. We can go ahead and bring those down. Add those down. We're going to get 5x. This goes away. Equals, well, because it's going away because it's 0y, correct? I should write that down so you guys are going to get too confused. 0y equals negative 18 positive 23 is going to equal 5. If you divide 5 to both sides, x equals 1. If x equals 1, plug it back in. Plug it back into this problem. I'm going to rewrite that. It's going to be down here. It's going to say 2 times 1 plus 5y equals negative 18. If you didn't see what I did there, I know what x is. So in this equation, I'm going to rewrite it. And I rewrote it right here. But instead of putting x there, I put the 1, that I know what x is. Okay? Now from there, 2 plus 5y equals negative 18. Let me get a pen here. Then I'm going to subtract 2 here. It's going to be negative 20. 5y equals negative 20. What times 5 equals negative 20? Negative 4. Okay, so your answer would be 1, negative 4. All right? All right, now, this problem here, what could you do to multiply, to use elimination? Some people still aren't that great at this. It's that quiz trade we did about a month ago, about a couple weeks ago. The quiz trade, we were walking around seeing what would you multiply to get a 0x or a 0y. When I look at my y's, nothing looks good that I can multiply to get 5 or 3 eliminated. So when I look at my x's, I see, okay, 8, and then I see 4. Well, I know I can get, and again, you're going to try to find the opposite of 8 is negative 8, right? So how do I get 4 to become negative 8? I'm going to multiply the whole parenthesis by negative 2. Make sure you see that clearly. Negative 2. And that's what you're going to do. The whole top equation by negative 2. All right, number 5 is super important for you to understand the idea of it. I'm going to read it to you guys, and I want you guys to just think about what's happening, think about what the variables could be. On a trip to the river, the Jones family rents 3 kayaks and a life jacket for a total of $90. The Smith family rents 5 kayaks and a life jacket for a total of $140. How much does it cost to rent 1 kayak? Your first step is to go ahead and try to create an equation. And when I see this, I see 3 kayaks plus a life jacket. I'm just going to put, I could put 1L. That's an L, guys. Cursive L equals what? $90. And then think about the next sentence where it says, the Smith family rents 5 kayaks and a life jacket for a total of $140, okay? So now it's going to be 5K plus another life jacket equals $140. Okay? Now you have a system of equations you can solve, and you're trying to figure out how much is one kayak. So you're going to try to get an answer where it's going to be k equals and a final answer. Okay? Why don't you hit pause and try to solve this on your own? If you don't know what to do, you're going to have to give either equation a makeover. And I look at my life jackets, and I think I can give that a makeover pretty easily. Go for it, guys. If you didn't hit pause, now you're going to see me start working on it. Negative 5k, because we're just jumping it through the problem. Negative 5l equals, oh, not 5l, negative l equals negative 140. Now that I've done that, I can kind of cross out my middle equation and go ahead and now solve down. I'm going to get negative 2k equals negative 50. Divide negative 2. K equals a positive, what's half of 50? 25. So how much is each kayak rental? $25. Okay, now we're going to look at what is the system of this solution of these systems. Here I'm going to rewrite it. And obviously when you're taking the benchmark, I would want you to rewrite it as well on your graph paper and solve it out. So we're going to take this here and we're going to give it a makeover by negative 5. We could do positive, or we could do negative 1 as well. If we did negative 1, I would get rid of our y's. I'm going to do negative 5 to get rid of our x's first. So I do the math. I'm going to get negative 5x, positive 5y, and positive 40. Do the math down. I'm going to get 6y equals 24. Divide 6. I'm going to get y equals 4. Now to find out what x is, just plug it back in. I'm going to bring down this equation. I'm going to rewrite it, x minus y equals negative 8. But I know what x is, or I know what y is. Plug it right here. So that's a negative 4. So now it's x minus 4 equals negative 8. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides, and x is going to equal negative 4, because negative 8 and positive 4 equals negative 4. So x equals negative 4. This next problem is probably the most challenging problem on the benchmark. A system of two linear equations has an infinite number of solutions. One equation is negative 5x plus 3y equals 3. Which equation makes this system have an infinite number of solutions? So you're going to try to find out which one of these A, B, C, or D, which one of these guys is going to actually make it infinite. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this equation, I'm going to write it out. Negative 5x plus 3y equals 3. This is going to take a lot of work. We're going to take A and we're going to try it and we're going to plug it in to this problem and see if we solve it, do we get infinite number of solutions? So first thing I'm going to do is look at the problem and see it needs a makeover. Alright, makeover, we're going to multiply it by, this is negative 20. Let's make it positive 20 on top, so multiply by negative 4. If you do that to everything, I'm going to get positive 20x, which is good, negative 12y, which is actually good as well, but then negative 12. So when I add down, I get 0x, 0y, but then I get negative 5. So this would be no solution, because you can't have a 0x, 0y. To be infinite, this would have to be 0, triple zeros. Remember my infinite craziness that I was talking about? So it's not A. Pay attention so you can get this. This is kind of a challenging problem. So we just figured out it's not A. Now I'm going to go ahead and put B in the problem. Negative 16x plus 12y equals 12. Okay? Now this doesn't look good at all. It doesn't even look similar to A, which A was almost the answer. When I go ahead and I have to do a makeover, I'm going to multiply the top to get rid of my y's. I'll multiply it by negative 4. But right away I know negative 4 times negative 5 is going to be positive 20x. And that's not going to work. And I notice C is not going to work because it's super similar as well. So let's go ahead and just try D, even though you guys are probably thinking that's right. If we try D, we're going to put it up here, negative 20x plus 12y equals 12. When I go ahead and I multiply this by negative 4, I'm going to get positive 20x, negative 12y, and negative 12. As you see, I'm going to get 0x, 0y equals 0. That's what we want. Infinite solutions. Remember, infinite number of solutions. If it was asking which one gave you no solution, you would have picked A, because you would have 0x, 0y equals a number. Okay? All right, let's look at, was that number 8? When you look at this problem number 8, which of these linear equations has no solutions? And look at the way it's set up. Do you see how it's set up with y equals, all this part here, y equals, y equals, y equals? When you see that, you can set this up, and what you're going to look for it to be no solutions, you're going to have a 0x. So, and a 0y. But when you do this, I want you, here's kind of a little trick for you guys to look at. Look at your x's in each problem. And if they're the same, in order for it to be infinite or no solution, those x's have to be the same. So, to be honest, the answer is already thrown at you. If you look at it, it's got to be B. But let's double check to make sure B does actually work. If I do the work and I have y equals negative 4x minus 2,